Welcome back. Welcome back. This is the section 6, last section of our unit 1. Gradually we are learning, and I hope you're also learning something. All right, so we will look at the agency relationship and agency problem. This is what we are going to look at this evening. So by the end of this section, you should be able to explain the relationship between agency problem and agency cost, and examine the cost-effective ways through which shareholders can deal with agency problem. So agency problem and agency cost. Okay, so we are saying that the possibility of a conflict between managers and their shareholders breed the agency problem. So once there is a possibility of a conflict arising between the managers and their shareholders, then it means it will definitely breed agency problem. Right? So an agency problem also translates into agency cost. Agency problem translates into agency cost. So they stated some example here. Shareholders accept less than optimal value for their shares and incur costs for monitoring the activities of managers to ensure they engage in acts and decisions that enhance the value of shareholders. Alright, so agency cost comes in when shareholders try to use other means for monitoring the activities of managers of the firm, and in the course of doing that, they will incur cost which might even be higher than the optimal value for their shares. So dealing with agency problem. So to solve agency problem, shareholders might take some of the following actions. They might employ the service of auditors. Auditors monitor the accounts of the company. They will go through the financial statements and other statements of the organization to see if everything is recorded properly and whether they are recorded in accordance with the regulatory standard that is guiding the operations of the organization. We also have executive compensation scheme. So shareholders can tie the compensation of managers to the financial performance, to be precise, increase in the share price of their companies. So once the share price of the company increase, automatically it means that executive compensation is also going to increase. So once the compensation is tied to the performance, it also serves as a yardstick or a guide to help managers to put on activities or process that will help to enhance or maximize the worth of shareholders. Fear of takeover is also another action that can be taken to mitigate agency problem. So managers may seek to increase the performance or financial performance of the company because of their fear of possible takeovers. Because if you are not performing well, it means other firms are going to take over. You see, because there are companies who sniff around for any possible takeover reaping companies. So if your company is not performing, it means other company might use that as an advantage and take over the company. So managers may seek to increase the performance of the firm so that they avoid this company. And of course, if there is a takeover, the possibility of you losing your job is very high. So we are all into this together. Help us to maximize our wealth and you also maintain your job. Influence of institutional investors. So this include activist mutual funds, pension funds, insurance companies that hold a huge number of shares in the company. So activist institutional investors put enormous on the manager to increase the financial performance of their companies by threatening to replace the CEOs. So institutional investors like this pension fund insurance company, they might hold huge shares in the company. They might have large shares, and as such their decisions are really relevant when it comes to decision making. Whatever they say is yes, and they can just threaten to replace you if you don't do your work well. So why don't you just do your work well and also do your work? Work for us, we maintain you. That is what they do. So it's also another way of mitigating agency problem that may arise in performance. All right. Another factor is influence of depository financial institutions. Financial institutions such as banks may also impress on managers to do the right things, because these managers may solicit for financial assistance from the banks, and they may require proof, financial statement that shows that the company is performing. And if your financial statement doesn't speak well of the company, it means you may not be guaranteed of the amount that you require. So if you perform well, you get access to any financial assistance that the company might need. All right, so this was a brief section about how to mitigate agency problem that may arise. So we've looked at the following key things. One, we said agency problem emerge from the fact the manager who are the agents may not do the right or may not do the bidding of the shareholders, but may rather promote their interests. In trying to induce managers to engage in wealth maximization, shareholders end up spending in the employ of internal measures such as the work of the auditor. Alright, they're trying to mitigate agency problem. It means they are going to incur agency costs. Alright, we have two questions here for you. One is explain the implication of the agency problem. And two, examine the cost-effective way of dealing with agency problem. I'll advise you to go through whatever we've done from section 1 to section 6 as you move along, so that you understand everything that we've been doing. All right, thank you, and I'll see you in the next unit, that is unit 2. Learn hard, and I'll see you. Bye bye.